So here I'm going to show you some in-depth steps on how to solve that problem. So again, we need to know how to set up the questions. Okay, so the catering company, so they know that they're making 3 sandwiches. They have ham, light ham, veggie sandwich. We don't know the amount, so we can let ham has x, y, and let veggie equals to y numbers of veggie. Okay, so each sandwich they contain different amount of ham, cheese, bread, and the veggies. So based on the question, the way that we set up is the ham sandwich contains 4 ham, 1 slice of cheese, 2 slices of bread, and 1 serving of veggie. For light ham sandwich is 2 slices of ham, 1 cheese, 2 bread, 2 veggie. And then for veggie sandwiches, 0 of ham and 2 cheese and 2 slices of bread and 3 portions of vegetable. But the total amount of ham, they tell you that is what? They have 10 bags of ham available and each one has 14 slices. So that means the total amount, let me write it here. So the total amount of ham should be 14 times 10, which is 400. And then for cheese is, they totally have, they also tell you that the next one they tell you is 18 loaves of bread are available and each with 14 slices. So bread, we have 18 times 14, which is 252. And veggie is totally 200 serving of veggie, and cheese is 15 bag of cheese with 60 slices per bag. So total is 900. So here's the setup of the questions. After that, let me close this up, and then we can set up our equation. So they ask you, hey, what will be the maximize, which is we can let the maximize sandwich. We can use S or use P or any number that you like. Should be the number of ham plus the number of light ham plus veggie, right? And this is maximize function, and they're subjecting to the number of ham, because you only have how many number of ham? Well, you use 4x amount for the ham sandwich and use 2 white amount to the light ham sandwich. So the total amount should be 4x plus 2y less than or equals to 400. Similarly, for the cheese, you have, you totally use x amount of cheese and a white amount, 1 white amount of light ham and 2 times z slices of cheese. So the strict function should be x plus y plus 2z less than or equals to 900. So similarly for bread, so it should be 2x plus 2y plus 2z, which is less than 252. And then for veggie, we have x plus 2y plus 3z less than 200. Alright, so here's the subject function. So how many actual variable we need to add? Since we totally have 4 functions, right? So that means we need to add 4 variables. I can call it at U1, U2, U3, and U4. You can name it anything that you want. You can use A, B, C, D. It doesn't matter. Okay, so the initial tableau should be, we have X, Y, Z, U1, U2, U3, U4, P. Okay, So for x, for the first function, we have 4 to 0, because we want to add u1 for the first function, u2 for the second, u3 for the third, and u4 for the fourth function. So this should be 1, 0, 0, 0, and 400. And then for the second function, I have 1, 1, 2, 0, u2 is 1, and 900. The next one would be 2, 2, 2, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 200. Okay. Oh, 252, sorry. Alright, so the next one would be x equals to 1, y coefficient is 2, 3z, 0, 0, 0, and u4 is 1, p is 0, and then the total number would be 200. And then the last one would be the maximize function. So this one we need to subtract them. So I will have -1, -1, -1, 0, 0, 0, 0. P is equal to 1, and this one is 0. So in here, the first one is you need to find the pivot column. So here you need to find the lowest negative number, the largest negative number, which is the smallest number. So since these three are all the same, so that means you can pick anyone as your pivot column. So I am going to pick this one. It doesn't matter, you can pick 1, 2, 3 column. And now I need to use the ratio to find out our pivot row. So 400 divided by 4 equals to 100. 900 divided by 1, 900. 252 divided by 2 is 140. 126, sorry. 200 divided by 1 is 200. So our pivot row should be the first one. Okay, so now we have our pivot column. So this is our pivot element, the pivot point. So what we want to do is we want these to become +1, right? So that means the first row, I want every element from the first row divided by 4. So I have what? 1. After, let me use the black plan. After I divide by 4, I have 1. 2 divided by 4 is 1/2. 0. 1/4. 0, 0, 0, 0, and 100. Okay, so the second row, I'm going to write it down. Okay, so now take a look. Remember, this is our pivot point. So I want everything in here, the first row, or the first column, I'm sorry, to become 0. What I need to do is, well, this is 1, that make it easier. So the second row, so the first row, I'm going to write the first row into our second tableau. Or I can just erase it. Yeah, let's rewrite it. It's easier. So now look at the second. What do we want to? This is 1. This is also 1. So that means I want the second row should be R2 minus R1. Okay, so 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. Oops, sorry. 0. 1/2, 0, -1/4, 1, 0, 0, 0, and 800. Right, after subtracting them. And now the third row, since this is 2, right? I want this to become 0. So that means I want the third row subtract 2 times first row. So I will have 0, 1, 2, negative 1/2, 0. Oops. Let me use flat plan, sorry. I will have okay. So for the fourth row, okay, this is also 1, so that means all I need to do is the fourth row minus the first row. In here, we will get what? 0. 2 minus 1/2 is negative 4/3. No, the fourth one should be positive 3/4. And this would be 3, negative 1/4. Yeah. 0, 0, 1, 0. And this is equals to 200 minus 100 is 100. Okay. So the last one should be what? Well, this is negative 1 and this is 1. So that means I want the fifth row at the first row to attend 0. So that 0, negative 1/2, negative 1, 1/4, 0, 0, 0, 1. And when you add them, you have 100. Alright, so the next part is we repeat what we done in here and find out our pivot column. Again, you find the smallest negative number, so should be here, right? And use the ratio to find, hey, which one gives you the smallest one. 100 divided by 0, it doesn't work because it's undefined. So this gives you 400. 52 divided by 2, you will have 26, and 100 divided by 3 is 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So that means this is going to be our pivot. So that means this is going to be our pivot element, and we want to turn this become 1. So that means I want to divide everything by 2. Okay, so R1 remain the same, which is 1, 1/2, 0, 1/4. So remember, this is X, Y, Z, U1, U2, U3, U4, P. Okay, so R2, right now let's just write the same thing here. So for R3, I want everything divided by 2. 0 divided by 2, we got what? Or times 1/2. Either way. So we have 0, 1/2, 1, negative 1/4, 0, 1/2, 0, 0, 26. Okay, so R4 remain the same. R5 is going to be the same for now. Okay, so remember which is our pivot element, this one. So we want R1 to become 0. So R1 is already 0, so that means we don't need to do anything at all. We just leave it as it is. So now let's write it down. R1 is 1, 1/2. Okay, so R2, what transformation we want? So this is 2, this is 1. So what I want is R2 minus 2 times R1. So this is the row that we're going to get. So we end up to have 0, negative 1/2, 0, 1/4, 1, 0, 0, 0, and 748. So for the third row, that's our pivot row. We'll just write it down. That's the row that contains our pivot element. Okay, for the fourth row, here is 3, right? So that means I want R4 minus 3 times R3. So I have 0, negative 9/4, 0, 2/4, 0, negative 3/2, 1, 0, and 22. Okay, the last one is R5. R5 here's a negative 1, and so I want R5 to become what? R5 plus R3, because then they can cancel each other. Negative 1 add 1 is equal to 0. So here you will got 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0, negative 1, because 2/3 adds negative 3/2 add 1/2 is negative 1, and this is 1, 0, and this is become 126. Okay, so now we have everything that we need. So I'm going to record this. This is X, Y, Z, U1, U2, U3, U4, P, and that's the profit. So now, since these are all 0, they don't have any negative number now. That means we're done in here. So now let's look at which element, which variable they have a 1 as their coefficient. This one equals to 1. So that means X is going to equal to 100. And now the next one will be Z equals to 1. So that means Z is going to equal to 26. And our P, the final, would be 126. So that means when X equals to 100, Z equals to 26, since it didn't say anything about Y cannot be negative 1/2. So it has to be 1. So that means Y is equal to 0. And then we will reach the maximum quantity of sandwich, which is P equals to 126. So X is represent what? X represent the number of ham sandwich. Z represent the number of a veggie sandwich. That means when we have 100 ham sandwich and we made 26 veggie sandwich, we will make the most sandwich out of the ingredient that we were given. Okay, so that's it for this example. Let me know if you have other questions. Another example about maximize profit is this one. A factory manufactures 3 products, A, B, and C. Each product requires the use of 2 machines, machine 1 and machine 2. The local hours available respectively on machine 1 and machine 2 per month are 180 and 300. The time requirement and profit per unit each product are listed below. And how many units of each product should be manufactured to maximize the profit? And what is the maximum profit? So to solve that, we can let's produce S numbered of a product. Oh, let's use A. Let's just use A. That's easier. And then produce B number of product B. And the C number of product C. So the subject function should be, so the total machine A are at 180 hours. So that means A plus 2B plus 2C less than or equals to 180. 2A plus 2B plus 4C less than or equals to 300. And the profit should be what? Profit from all of the total amount of A product, and the profit from the total amount of B product, and the profit from C product. This is our P. Okay, so now let's start our tableau. Okay, so the tableau should be A, B, C, U1, U2, P. And then we have 1, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0, 180. For the second row, I have a 2, 2, 4, 0, 1, 0, 300. The next one would be negative 20, negative 13, negative 40, 0, 0, 1, and 0. I'm going to skip how we're starting the initial tableau. I assume you already know how to start in this part. All right, so what's the biggest negative number? So it would be negative 40. So this is going to be our pivot column. And now we need to find the ratio to figure out, hey, which one is going to be our pivot row. And since 75 is the smallest ratio, so we're going to choose that. So that means 4 is going to be our pivot point. So we want to turn the 4 into 1, so that means we want everything remain the same. 1, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0, 180. But I want the second row to divide by or times 1/4. So that our second row will become 1 half. 1 half, 1 half, 1, 0, 1/4, 0, and 75. Okay, so the next step is we're trying to eliminate these to become 0, right? We want this one and this one to become 0. So what we're going to do is I want the first row minus 2 times the second row. So I have 1 minus 1 half times 1, which is 0, and 2 minus 2 times 1 half is 1, 0, 1, and then this is going to become negative 1 half, 0, and the 180 minus 2 times 25, which is 30, is the left. Okay, so second row, we don't do anything about it right now. And then the third row, we want to get rid of the 40. So that means I want the third row at 14 times the second row. So I have 0 here and negative 10, 0, 0. This is 10, 1, 3,000. Okay. So the next is we need to continue. Since we still have a negative number in this bottom, so here is going to be our pivot column. And then we still need to find out our pivot point, right? So we have 13 divided by 1, which is 13. And then the other one is 75 divided by 1/2, which is equivalent to 75 multiplied by 2. So this first row is the smaller, since this is already 1, so that means we don't need to do anything about it. All right, so the next is I want these two to become 0, right? So let's continue. Okay, so in order to make this become 0, I want the second row minus 1/2 the first row. So what do we have here is 1/2 minus 1/2 times 0, which is 1/2, and the second one is 0, and then 1 minus, every time times 0 equals to 0. And then this one is 0 minus 1/2 times 1, which is negative 1/2. This one is 1/4 minus, which is minus 1/2 times negative 1/2, which gives you a positive. So this is a 1/2 because it gives you 2/4. When you simplify, it's 1/2. So for this one is 75 minus 1/2 times 13, which is equivalent to 75 minus 15. So this is 60. Okay, so the next one is I want to get rid of the negative 10. So what I want is the third row minus, or plus, plus 10 times R1. So I have 0, 0, and then this one is also 0. This one is 10, and the 10 times negative 1/2 times 10, which is 5. This is 1, and this one is 13/300. All right, so here we can stop because we attained what we want. So now let's take a look. When b equals to 13, we will have our maximum. B equals to 13, c equals to 60, we reach our maximum, which is 13/300. So that means if the manufacturer or if the factory produce 13 product A, product B, 60 product C, and also 0 product A, it maximize its profit at 13,300. Okay, or 13,300, I don't know, is it 1,000? The unit, whatever unit they use, could be million, could be 1,000. 13, like 3,300,000. Anyway, so that's it for today. Let me know if you have more questions.